right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
So,
your other recording link is still not working.
yes,
We
so
had to figure out
yeah,
how
so
to get that
that's why,
as well.
I have to, what I have to do is I tried those links, there was some issue. So I have to download those recordings and I'll upload it on the drive. So that's why I changed the platform today. I'm trying with GoToMeeting. Here recording is more easy and convenient. So I'm just trying this GoToMeeting today.
Understand. No problem. We'll figure out how to solve each of these issues. Let's proceed. So what is that you're showing?
Migration.
Migration.
SAP ERP to SAP accounting powered by SAP HANA. Everything is SAP. Earlier it used to be Microsoft, people used to get irritated. Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word. Everybody is following suit. They want to show their footprint. Absolutely. Brand new.
Yeah, please go ahead, Nitin.
Okay. So here when we go to preparations, now in 1503 there were three things only. GL, assets and controlling. But now we have three more: material ledger, bank account and credit management. So this is the latest updated system, which is the last release by SAP in the market.
Okay.
I see.
Okay. So to start with, what we will do is we will try to create a document. So what will happen? It will help you, when even if you are trying to
I agree.
do it something in future, you can refer the document what it does each menu option means. But here, what we have to do is we have to go slowly because we just not need to complete the menu options. We have to understand what system is doing actually.
I agree. Let's do it gradually.
Yeah, because theoretically it was okay. We quickly completed a lot of things, but here now this is a critical stage.
Okay.
So number one is check customizing settings prior to migration. So what does it do? Okay. So here what system do is check customizing settings prior to migration. Here system checks all the settings of your system. Technically, that is there is something wrong or if any issue is coming, so let's say company code is not assigned to fiscal year or whatever, all the issues or technical errors. So here it is saying there is a body implemented migration not possible. So
You seem to be in a bad shape here. Nitin, you need to. Earlier we used to say have hot water, but these days you have to say have nice rum.
Early morning?
Brandy. Yeah, what is day and night? He's working around the clock. He's supporting all time zones.
I was there, yesterday Vittal sent me a message. We want to talk to me. I was there on call till 12:30 in the night.
I know. I told them.
Okay. So there is a body implemented migration might not be possible. So that's what it's saying. Please check out this note for further details. So this is something we have to check. What does it mean? Two one two 9306.
Yeah. You look at the second one. Check customizing settings prior to migration. Yeah, that's the one.
224066. There's a multiple of nodes that need to be implemented before you implement this node.
Oh.
Okay.
224066.
So it says first apply the correction that are provided in 224 this node. This contains a web check class, a web program this. Then apply the correction of this node 2129306 to create a report. After your system was upgraded to S4 HANA, please check whether the correction of node this are relevant, since the report can also be executed after the upgrade. Afterward, you can run the report. Okay. So I will ask, I will get it done from the vendor.
Who is the vendor, by the way? Is he
Sorry?
from Hyderabad? Who is the vendor for this?
No, vendor is from Bangalore actually.
Oh.
Okay. So I'll get this done. Today itself I will send the email. Okay. So after this, the next is define message type for posting before and during migration. So in this activity, normally what system says is during the migration, if somebody is trying to post anything, system gives the error message. And then after this message will be deactivated once you tell system that migration is complete. There is a checkbox at the last which says, here you can see, here it says set migration to complete. Once you check this box, then system says, okay, the migration is complete, then message will be automatically deactivated. So you have to create a message. In this customizing activity, you define users to inform by a message when they post to the system, although the migration has not been set to finished. So if somebody tried to do in between, you said system, hey, don't do anything, migration is going on.
This is the last step, right?
Which one?
Set migration to completed is primarily the last step.
Yeah. So that's what it says. The once you complete the migration, when you set migration to complete, the message will be deactivated and system will be open for the users.
No, but this will be the first step. So this is before the migration starts.
No. Set migration to completed, he said, was the last step. That is correct. So before we start any migration, we will need to define that. We use that work area fins FIMIG and message number 150, and then we will have to set it up as an error. The default must be error, and we should set it OBA5.
So where did you go here? How did you navigate to this?
This on the left hand side.
Define message type. Define message type for posting before.
Yeah, 150. Message number is 150.
Here is where you set it as what?
On my error E patch is E, and just press enter.
So it says data migration is not yet finalized. Updating of the document is not possible. And it will be a message, and you save it. Now I'll create a transport.
Oh, I see. So this way you are first setting it as an error. After that, you will remove that error message.
Once you set it to complete, then you can remove that.
Something new.
Okay.
So what it does is anybody trying to get into the system, it won't let them in, or
anybody trying to post.
It
this
says
is for posting.
Anyway, system downtime is essential, isn't it?
So yeah, system downtime is there, but apart
four of us are doing. One of us accidentally tries to post that kind of thing. It just stops. Okay.
You want me to write this on the document?
Yeah, just as a step. Rest. How to do it? We We just say define message type. That's all.
Okay.
Simple.
As long as we can get this recorded version, that should be fine.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah, recording is going on, so it should not.
I think for me the most important is the GL and asset accounting. We'll need to look at really how we are doing that.
I think everything is important.
Yeah.
GL,
The crux.
controlling, house bank, credit management. I don't know about major ledger, but
Okay, let's get.
yeah.
Yes.
Let's get started.
Just one line.
You understand GL and asset accounting?
Correct.
That's what you mean, right?
Yeah, because what he said was 60 to 70% is that. GL is another 15%. So I could always say 85% I know.
Where is COPA?
Controlling, everything to do with controlling.
It's controlling. I see. Okay. Profitability analysis.
So it's like, if you classify the percentage, you can say 10% is GL, 10% is controlling, and rest 10% is all these things, basic things.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
60 to 70 is this. So there is a step, we are just currently in preparation. You see, we are not in migration yet. So the migration comes here. Migration, we have to do a separate, altogether different.
Yeah.
We are just preparing the system for migration.
I agree.
Now, preparation and migration customizing for GL. So activate SAP reference IMG for financial accounting new. So the customers who are on classic GL, when they want to move to new GL, this will be activated, there would be a
Correct.
activation button. So it says, you activate the menu financial accounting new. But since our system is already on new GL, so this is, just the information message.
So it's on the text box next to it. The button is on the text box next to it.
Yeah, the button is
just a text.
The button
there won't be execution. It is just information.
So we cannot execute this step because our system is already on new GL.
I see. I see.
Check and adopt fiscal year variance. In this activity, you compare the fiscal year between controlling areas and assigned company codes. So here system compares what is your fiscal year for company code and controlling area. And if there is some issue coming up, it will throw the error.
So we have to be consistent, isn't it? As of now, wherever we go, we implement with the rule that fiscal years cannot be different between controlling area and the FIC, because FIC are supposed to be the same, including number of period and the period end start and end date.
So at the front end, it is yes, it holds good that at the front end you cannot assign any other company code having a different fiscal year to the controlling area. But the companies who have implemented asset accounting mirror company tool, their mirror companies have different fiscal years.
Okay.
Just give me a minute. I'll give you an example. Just hold on.
Okay. Maybe it's different in Europe and other regions.
So there are scenarios where company code and company code fiscal year and controlling area fiscal year can be different. How? Those companies who are on EHP 6 and those have implemented mirror company tool in asset accounting. So what mirror company tool does is, it does not support normal fixed asset, does not support the local ledger reporting, local ledger transactions. So there is a tool for SAP. What they do is they mirror the company code, and they assign the different fiscal year variant, and that is assigned to the same controlling area. But what happens is when assignment to controlling area happens for that company code, it does not happen from the front end, because if you try to assign, system will error you out, right? That controlling area fiscal year does not match with company code fiscal year.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that activity they do via program. So they go into program and forcefully enter the different fiscal year. So here system will check that if you have done something wrong with the program, then system will check it out. That's the logic.
When we come to that, actually, you're going to give us some example, right? Now it is just, we are not writing it down, Nitin. I'm just saying, maybe when we are doing that new asset accounting, you would be able to give us an example so that we can write it down.
It is not there in US. So in new asset accounting does not have any relation to this, that thing I'm telling. I don't know if you've heard, there is a SAP license product, which you have to buy an add-on, and its implementation take 2 to 3 months. A mirror company tool, this MCT 2.0. So there are some companies who have implemented
that.
Mirror company tool 2.0.
Mirror company codes.
Yeah, mirror company tool.
Company 2.0. Okay, we can look it up. Okay, so that you don't.
What is that?
Hold on, let me.
Mirror company tool 2.0.
Yeah.
Version.
What is the tool meant for?
That's what he said, no? If you have to assign a different fiscal year variant.
So here what happened, let me give you an example. So let's say my company is US headquartered and I have a subsidiary in India, right? My US fiscal year is January to December and my India fiscal year is April to March.
Yeah.
Now my company code, let's say it's IN00 India company code, and in my company code I try to configure the fiscal year. So system says at leading ledger you have fiscal year January to December. In non-leading ledger you want to configure April to March, but fixed asset system does not understand the April to March system. It will do all the calculations based on January to December fiscal year. Now, to meet that requirement, SAP gives another tool which says mirror company tool. What it does is you create a separate company code, let's say IN01. In that, the leading ledger would be whatever leading ledger is 0L, its fiscal year would be April to March. And all the transactions you do in original company code, the one IN00 automatically get copied from IN00 to IN01 behind the scene, including master data, all transactions you do in one main, it get copied into the mirror company.
Okay. So what you are saying is, okay. So it's not, so the entire set of transactions gets copied from, let's say, IN01 to IN00 to IN01, huh?
Yeah.
To the mirror. And in the mirror company code, 0L is still April to March, and 1L will be, let's say, there would be
no 1L for that for IN01.
Correct. So I'm coming here. So for the IN01, your leading ledger would still be April to March. So this you will change it as Jan to December. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And if IN00 had, let's say, non-leading ledger 1L, so that also would get copied to IN01, right?
Sorry, say that again.
But you don't have to make use of it. That's all you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So understood.
Maybe I call the multiple calendar tool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So this is a costly product from SAP EHP6. They sell it from around around $300,000. In EHP7 they are selling it for $500,000, and then the implementation cost is around $300,000 and plus maintenance and license and all those things.
Okay. So just from my understanding, we talked about USA company code being on EHP7, right? And in Indian subsidiary being on EHP6, right?
No.
Is that what we said?
No. EHP will be same for every company code.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the tool which few companies use.
Prior to EHP7, sorry, I got it incorrectly. This is all prior to EHP7, right?
Yeah.
This is where and once you're on EHP7, then this is what it will do. Once you decide to migrate, it will do this validation check.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, understood.
Okay.
Thank
so
you.
This is the tool which is there in the market by SAP, but the implementation experience is very limited. There are only, I think, 4 or 5 consultants who have implemented this. So, but a very good tool. I have implemented once for one client, a unique tool and unique experience on its own.
So was everything successful till the end?
Yes. So the tool is running fine till now.
Okay. That means month after month the data is getting replicated and they don't have a problem.
No, it's not month after month. The moment you create asset.
I know, it's a real time.
Yes.
I understand real time.
The moment you create asset in main company code, the master data it automatically goes to mirror company code.
Copy it here.
Yeah. So real time.
It translates your, from April to May to May.
Can you have a different fiscal period ending date?
Yes.
That's what in mirror. Right?
That's what it is mirroring.
It's different. Yeah.
Because it is different, that's a requirement to
So
have.
it doesn't matter, just to replicate transaction data. Okay, go ahead. Let's focus on this one.
Okay, so that's what system checks that your fiscal year variant are same or different. So here, if you run it blind, it says
both are K1.
Yeah.
So that's it.
So it is K1. So it's okay. So this is the step which system check the fiscal year variant. It is again, kind of validation check before migration. System is doing all checks and controls to ensure that, that something is not going wrong during migration.
Yeah.
Migrate GL customizing. So in this activity, you migrate all new general ledgers to the new configuration. Company code assignment, currency settings, fiscal year variant, open period variant, all those are migrated. So if you remember in current system, you must have working on transaction OB22, the currency settings.
Correct.
That is no more available now. OB22 is gone away.
Where do you set the currencies then?
Yeah, so there is another transaction code for that. I'll show you that. So it says ledger customizing is inconsistent. System determined that there are inconsistencies in your ledger setting.
093.
Try correct these error by analyzing individual message. If you cannot correct this, for example, this. Okay. So this body is creating a problem every time. You see, it is at every step, it is stopping us.
Nitin, is the vendor responsible for ensuring that this is migrated successfully? I thought he would just prepare the system and say, hey, this is a system available, you do the migration.
So,
will he actually be responsible for that?
No. So migration will be done by us, but in these, if there is a configuration error, we can check. But if there is some ABAP code or technical issues, so vendor has to take care.
Right. Okay, I agree with you. It's better that we execute it all for the first time, including migration. But we need their vendor support to implement these patches.
Yeah.
I like this idea, because if you already done the migration, if you just show us what,
Correct.
I mean, there's no lessons learned, right? This is a good lesson learned.
Yeah.
That's good.
So these issues might come, when you do real-time migration for any client. So these issues are very common.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. So here, system.
So what's your action item for this? Again, you'll ask him to check.
Yeah. So I'll ask, the vendor to check this error. I'll give the error message, the SAP note number. So he will check and, get those notes.
Just give me a minute. I'm just going to write the body name. DIP.
AD010002 _ SEL.
Okay. This is the one that is.
It will point out to the same note.
So it's asking us to take it out? Or what? It sounds like it's implemented.
It is implemented, this thing, so migration might not be.
So there is some.
So you have to take it out.
There is some program amendment needs to be done. That's what the SAP note says, and there is one note needs to be implemented. Then
what the note is? Note
2129306.
2129306. Okay.
This is the one that had come earlier also.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Define settings for ledgers and currency types. In this activity, you define the ledgers that you use in accounting. One ledger can be designated leading ledger. The two are a standard and appendix. Okay. So requirement.
Okay, now most of these settings, I haven't gone through the entire list. Most of these settings assume they've already been done under the older version.
Yeah.
Right. So if that's already been done under the older version, will it just copy it over here?
Yeah, it will be copying.
Okay.
So you see, it's already copied in all those ledgers which are created. So they have copied this.
This is your appendix ledger or extension ledger.
So now in the latest version, they have changed the name of appendix to extension ledger actually.
Oh. Sorry, again, recap real quick. What's the appendix or extension ledger? Is that meant for the new asset ledger, new asset accounting?
Yeah. Just exactly what they said, like
something for a top level entry.
Yeah, if you have, let's say, leading ledger, and then you have a standard ledger or a non-leading ledger, and this becomes a copy of the non-leading ledger. Now both will be mirror till some point where you want to post something specific to the extension ledger.
Oh, I see.
So you post something to extension ledger, it will not get reflected in the standard.
Oh, I see. So that's kind of non-leading ledger.
Yeah. How many you can have? Is there anything like only one per company code you can have or something?
So it's normally not at a company code level. You create one ledger and you assign it to company code.
Yeah, that's what. So how many we can have? In the sense, let's say I want one extension ledger, let's say for new asset implementation where I want to have some entries specific to tax. Let's say I decide one for some new GL entries I would like to have. So I can have two.
Yeah, you can.
Pointing to two different standard ledgers.
Yeah, you can have two, but recommended is one.
One. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Okay.
So we have standard ledger as leading ledger, OL, and A1 is again a standard ledger. Then we have C1 as extension ledger. So tell me, how is C1 used here?
Which one?
C1.
The extension ledger is talking about again.
This one?
Yes.
So this is the one which we are talking about extension. So this is leading, this is non-leading, and C1 is extension.
And you can see underlying ledger is 0L, so
Yeah.
it is
So
picking up.
it is so C1 is copying everything from 0L.
Yeah, I see. Got it.
But you could also make it. Yeah, okay. Anyway, leave it. Let's continue.
Okay. Currency settings.
Go down the settings.
Okay. So here you define all the ledgers, whatever you need, you can create new, but if required, like, when you migrate from new GL to this place to Simple Finance or S4 HANA Finance, you don't have appendix or extension ledger at that point, but here you create a new extension ledger. That activity has to be done.
Nitin, maybe I'm slow. So the currencies as of now, we have three currencies, right? Document currency, company code currency, and global currency, right? In the group currency, yeah. So in the currency types, can you again go back to currency types? Company code, group, hard currency, index-based currency. So index-based currency is all hidden as of now. So you're giving, so this is going to replace OB22, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then settings, company code dependent. This is new screen. We haven't seen.
Yeah.
Settings, company code independent. What is company code independent versus company code dependent? Maintenance level.
It is the client level. That is whatever settings you do.
What level you are
across all the.
Yeah. What level you are maintaining the currency?
Yeah. Do at the client level. It is a company code independent.
Okay. So how many currencies can we post a transaction in now?
How many currencies you post a transaction now?
Yeah. You are defining so many currencies. Can you assign all of these currency types to a company code?
So system will see, most of them will come.
Yeah, I know 3 only you can assign. Is that still remain same?
Yeah, that remains same. All these are the hard currency, group index and all those are.
For example, Nigeria, just giving some examples, Zimbabwe or Nigeria, where you have a deflation, like today it is $1,000 Zimbabwean is equal to $1 US. Tomorrow it will be 3,000 Zimbabwe dollars. For those kind of things, you maintain a hard currency kind of thing, so all your posting.
Right.
Out of those 3 currencies, you can select one of them depending upon what you are. Okay. Just go back to this ledger. You just made a comment. Let's say this is a pre-migration. So it picks up all your leading ledger and non-leading ledger. Let's say I had 0L, A1, A2, non-leading. That's all. Now we come to the screen and then add the C1, or it adds by default.
No, you have to add. You have to click on new entries and add one.
Add one. Okay.
So Nitin,
and then define which is the underlying ledger, whether it is a leading ledger or if you want it to be referring to a non-leading ledger, that is also possible, right? I think you can define it for non-leading also. I read about it. That is the advantage. You could do it. Yeah. See,
can you also go to the counting principles?
Hold on. Yeah.
I think I have select a ledger and then go.
Yeah, you'll need to do that.
Accounting principle 60, got it.
I think that is now going to be our biggest stumbling block. Now, during this training session, you're going to make all these changes.
We need a version system on which we can implement.
Now, the issue will be, let's say once this training is over, your migration is complete. So we need another system. Each one of us, we need a system where we can redo it. Okay.
So does it mean that we can assign multiple accounting principles? Of course, it doesn't make sense, but system technically allows you to assign multiple accounting systems, accounting principles. Why?
That's like, this is
Yeah,
It's taken out this special purpose ledger, right? So you select a ledger, you select a company code, and then you can assign the accounting principle that you want.
so you can assign US GAAP as well as local.
Absolutely, that's the full idea. That's the idea.
So normally it should be one accounting principle, thumb rule.
Yeah,
Per ledger,
yeah.
Per ledger. Yeah, you selected that ledger, so that's one accounting principle per ledger. Makes sense. Makes sense. I see. Okay.
Okay. So what I would recommend is, so as of now that body is preventing us, to move forward till the time that issue is resolved. Try to get into menu, these menu options, we are working today. Try to get into these, and at least see the screens again.
Yeah, I agree.
That will give you a feel, how system looks like and what are the steps in migration.
Correct. And let's look at that. Yeah, just execute, Nitin. Because even though we might not be able to complete it, we can just have an overview. What is the issue, or if we have like these doubts, we can ask you.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Is that the version 000? This one assign the version to a ledger. Okay.
So this is the currently a restriction. So what happened is, in this activity, define the ledger that represent controlling. That is the ledger that contains all posting of actual data that is relevant to controlling. This is done by assigning version. So this is related to the one which I mentioned, that in extension ledger, you can do controlling specific activities. For example, if you do allocations, you can do within controlling, and it will not touch your 0L. So this is the setting. You go here and you tell system, okay, it is just, you just have to assign 0. At this point, there is no other option. You just put 0. So this is the setting which basically controls, if you are doing something in controlling, you can define which ledger it should throw out. If you leave this blank, it will post in all the ledgers. So if you see this KB11N,
Post knowledge, it doesn't make sense.
You see,
you're talking about actual versus.
This is actual manual reposting of cost from one percentage.
Here SAP is giving the option now, ledger group in CO transactions.
These are all new.
What's the drop down list? It gives you all ledgers?
Group, not ledgers. So you will combine ledgers into a ledger group, right?
So right now you can only post to one ledger, right? Yeah. Then you say you post to a group, like doing a profit center group, and it automatically sends to all the profit centers.
Okay.
So the logic is, if you leave this option blank, it will post to all the ledgers in the company code assigned to that company code. If
it becomes dangerous, no?
You can set up validation.
I know, I'm just saying, but we'll have to do a lot of work that means. Yeah, so at a validation level or putting a default.
Job security, right?
Yeah. It's dangerous. SAP's options are good, but it's also highly dangerous. That's what it is,
Yeah.
You expect everything to be 0 OL, that's it.
So that's how, Vittal, our jobs goes on.
That I agree.
If SAP gives everything in a box, so there is no need of consultants.
Yeah, I agree. Or consultants are required for a very short time. That's the other flip side.
So we should praise SAP that all those options are there, so that at least the jobs are surviving.
Actually, I tell my friend, most dangerous system to work on is SAP.
I think if they make it very easy for you to post a document, they'll make it very tough for you to reverse a document. So they take care of their own.
Right. So this one, document type for posting and controlling. So here it's a normal, it will open the normal OBA7 screen, and you had standard SAP says we have given one more document type CO, and you can add a document type if you need. So here SAP standard SAP has added a document type CO for CO related just to identify.
Okay. I understand. And this is by default, right? In the sense we don't have to do, SAP has done it by default, and we cannot use remote.
So CO is by default. If you need to add more, you can do that. That's what this is.
Okay, that you're aware. Okay.
So you see, since this is a CO document, it is not touching any of these asset customer vendor. It is only posting to GL account.
Only GL, yeah. Understand. Reverse document type is also CO. I don't CO -1. No, it is a 2 character only, so you can't have CO -1.
Okay.
Mapping variance. We need to go in the same sequence, right, Nitin, so that we don't have to write down.
Yes, yes. So sequence will be same every time.
Okay.
Okay. So in this activity,
coin and all those business transactions.
Yes. So in this activity, define the mapping variant that maps CO business transaction to document type. So that if you remember, we just created a document type CO, or it was there in SAP. Now you have to assign that document type to the business transaction where you want, okay, my all CO business transaction should go to CO document.
So that also is not done by default. That we need to do it manually. I thought when they define that, they would do that part of.
So it is something, if you see now, you see standard SAP has done everything by default.
Correct.
But now, let's say if you created your custom document type, let's say C1, now then you have to change this setting to C1.
Okay, I understand.
And this variant is assigned to document type?
Yes.
Yes.
So you see, CO distribute primary because the document type is all CO. So whenever you execute these activities, you know, automatically system will post a document type CO.
The first thing I noticed is coin is out of over here. F5 through postings to COPA, COIN. It is not there. Just click on position and put COIN. It might not be there because now everything is.
Your CON is not there.
It's not there. Okay. Through postings, because now it is directly posting in F5. Okay. Single journal. Correct. Okay. No issues.
Okay. So this is what this variant do.
Just curious about what's the next variant showing?
Sure.
Standard and default. Typically, you copy from standard and then.
Yeah. So this is saying SA. SA is normally a JV, so they can change it to CO. This is migrated from CO FI real-time integration. So this is the one which we will be using default, 0001. This is the standard variant. So normally companies will use this unless there is a requirement for customizing.
Correct.
Okay. So we will not. I think we have done enough steps for today, and you have good things to practice. Because if we go to rush, we don't want to rush and complete everything quickly. Okay.
Okay. No issues.
So what I would recommend is, try to work on your system issue, firewall, and whatever, and try to execute these steps once more. Try to read this help. What does it do? And if you need, you can prepare your own documentation in your own language or manually or on system, so that when you go in future to the client, at least you have something handy with the steps ready, and some issues you might face in those steps that would help you in future as well.
So we will do one thing. We will try to today, as I said, from office we know there could be a firewall issue, but I faced this issue even when I did it from home. So the next thing what I'm going to do is use a personal laptop to access this site.
Yes.
If it works, then we know access part of it is okay. We just need to work on practice.
So yesterday, I was also trying to access this system from the client network location, and laptop it doesn't allow. It gave me the same message which it gave it to you. So, but then I access it from my personal laptop, and it allows actually.
It allows. Okay. So I think that must be the key. Okay. Let's try that, and we will revert back to you tonight.
Sure. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
And in case
Thanks
you
a lot.
face any issue, we can connect, and then I will send another, and that meeting link will remain same. We will connect on the same meeting link. I will share the dates. And all.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, that's all. Let's have it next on Monday. Then
Sure.
just please publish the plan.
Sure,
next
sure.
week.
No problem.
Because this week also we didn't have too